Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my next update in my Shop My Stash Project Pan series. I call these videos Project Pans because I'm doing the typical Shop My Stash or refreshing my makeup bag or basket, but what I'm adding to it is a usage style project pan. So what I like to do is set a usage goal on each of the products, and that for me is to use everything at least 5 times. And why I do that is so I don't roll products into this project and then end up not using them, because that could definitely happen if I didn't have the goal in all of these. And I also find it interesting because I do count usage, how much I tend to use certain things and how few times I tend to use other things. So I find that very interesting as well. And it's just a way to continue to go through my collection and make sure I'm using everything in my collection. And that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy this project, because I am constantly rotating through different products and pulling things in. And I've had a lot of instances where I've actually hit pan during this project, which is super exciting, but I've also kind of set myself up for a lot of items that I end up project panning later on, but just making sure that I'm continually using them throughout the year. So how I structure these videos is I'm gonna go through all of the products that I had last month and just tell you how many times I used them. Then we'll put them back in my collection, we'll select new products, and then I'll talk through those really quickly as well. So if you are interested in watching this video, then please keep watching. All right, so I rolled my Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer into this project specifically because I was working on, or I am working on, this NARS Soft Matte Complete Foundation in my 5-pan rolling style project pan. And this foundation I was feeling like was looking really cakey on my skin, and so I rolled in the tinted moisturizer just to thin it out a little bit and help it appear more natural. And so really loved using this for that. I used this 20 times this month, and every single time I had mixed it in with my NARS foundation, I just feel like it made a world of a difference on how that was setting on my face. So really happy to have used this, got some good usage out of it. I really do enjoy this product. I've worn it on its own before and I like it as just really light coverage, but it's also been nice to use mixed in with something that's fuller coverage. Next product is my LYS setting powder. So this was new to me at the end of last year, and I used this 21 times this month. I love to set my foundation with powder, so this was just my go-to for that. And I feel like it worked really well for that. So super happy to have used that. And then I also use my Milani bronzer. I used this 20 times this month. So again, another big number on this. I think this was one of the first times I have ever really spent a good amount of time using this, and I really liked this bronzer. I like the shade, I like how it applies. So very happy to have rolled it into this project and realized that I do truly enjoy it. So really excited about that. And I also feel like I made some visible progress on here. So there's like these rings around the outside, and they've definitely thinned out towards the middle where I was obviously placing my brush the most. So that was kind of exciting too, to be able to see some progress on this one. A product that I really struggled to use and hit 5 times with was my Big Fat Liner. I think one of the reasons that is because most of the time when I'm using a black liner, like liquid liner like this, is because I'm just trying to line where I have my false lashes on. That's one of the reasons why I have this in my collection. I feel like a liner like that is really important for false lashes, but I didn't wear any false lashes this month. I wasn't going anywhere that I needed to wear false lashes. So this presented a little bit more of a challenge for me. Also because I'm trying to hit 20 uses on a black eyeshadow in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project pan, and so I was using that a lot as a liner. So I was trying to kind of use these two interchangeably and also use them together. I managed to get 5 uses out of this, but realized I have this in my collection for a reason, and that's to be used with the false lashes. And so I don't think I'd pull it in again just to be used on its own, because I honestly had a hard time using it like that. Next are my 2 highlights. So I rolled in 2 highlights. Both of these highlights have pan on them already. So this is my Becca Champagne Pop highlight, and then I also rolled in my Benefit Cookie highlight. I used Champagne Pop 8 times, and then I used Benefit Cookie 14 times. I love both of these, and really it just depended on what eye look that I was wearing, if I went for like the more pinkier highlight or if I went towards like the more champagne golden highlight. But big fan of both of these, and I just think they perform so well, and I was so happy to be able to use both of them this month. I also rolled in my all-nighter setting spray. I mostly use this as just like a setting spray on my eyeshadows because, again, I'm working on another product in my 5-pan rolling style project pan. It's this Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist, which I absolutely love, but one of the challenges I realized with this is that when I'm just spraying it all over my face, my eyeshadow was just creasing throughout the day, and when I'm in the office for, you know, an 8-hour day, I didn't want creasy eyeshadow, and so what I'd been doing to prevent that was just spraying this kind of like on my forehead and then around this part of my face, and then hitting my eyes with like a long-lasting setting spray. And I also used this a few times just on its own over the whole face if I was doing something where I was gonna be out of the house for a long day. So really enjoyed having that in, and that was one of the first times that I really spent like a good amount of time using that, and I'm very happy with that product. I feel like both this and then the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray both have great hold power for your makeup throughout the day, which I really appreciate from both of those. And then the last 3 products are lip colors. The first one is my Jaclyn Hill lipstick in the shade Mom, and this was actually a rollover from last month, but I managed to use it. I think I needed to use it 2 more times to hit 5 uses, so I managed to do that. I really do like this shade. I've been working on a lip gloss again in my regular project pan, so I feel like I've been leaning towards more just wearing the lip gloss as much as possible versus like always layering it with lip products. Happy to have hit 5 uses on that. And then I have 2 other lip shades that I moved into this project. The first one is this lipstick from Maybelline. It's the shade Clay Crush. I used this 6 times this month. Also just a great nude shade. Really enjoyed using that. And then I also used my Dose of Colors liquid lip. And to be honest, I'm not sure of the shade on this one, but I used this 7 times this month, and this was definitely by far the standout of all 3 lip colors. I just really enjoy the staying power on this, as well as just how it applies and the shade. So big fan of this one and really enjoyed using it this month. So that is the update on all of the products that I've used over the past month. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these back into my collection, and then we are gonna go ahead and pick out some new products to work on in April. Taking a look at my collection, I'm thinking about foundation first, and I'm hesitant to pull another foundation into this project because, like I mentioned, I am working on this NARS foundation in my project pan. I assume that I will probably still continue to mix it with this Pretty Fresh hyaluronic acid tinted moisturizer that I just rolled out because I have been enjoying that combo, but I might explore just trying to wear it on its own again as well. So I don't think I'm gonna roll a foundation in because the rest of these are pretty full coverage too, and I don't know if that would necessarily make sense for what I'm looking for. I do need to roll a new powder in, and so I was thinking about my powders, and I am kind of debating on rolling in the Hourglass Ambient Light powder in the shade Dim Light, or rolling back in my Kosas Cloud Set. One being because I know this expires pretty quickly, so I was thinking that it might make sense to pull this one in. But also I have hopes of at some point panning this one. I mean, I have hopes of panning all of these, but this one earlier than maybe the other ones, and that's why I'm kind of leaning towards rolling the Hourglass in. So I think now that I've kind of talked it out, I do think I want to roll Hourglass in, and then I'm maybe roll the Kosas one in sooner rather than later, just so we can continue to make progress on that one. Definitely need to pick a new bronzer out. Just was working on the Milani one, so I don't think it's going to be that one. And so I am debating between these 3, and I think I'm actually gonna roll in this Butter Bronzer. It is powdery for me, but I do like how it looks on my face, and it's one of my lighter bronzers, whereas I feel like the Marc Jacobs and the Guerlain ones are a little bit darker, which they might work better as I continue to get tanner, whereas I feel like in April I'm still pretty pale, and I have not been regularly self-tanning, so this one actually might work better for my skin tone currently, so I think I'm gonna work on that one. And then we're gonna skip blush because I'm diligently working on my NARS blush in my project pan. So I just worked on both this cookie one and this champagne pop one. So I'm gonna kind of take those 2 out of the running. I did enjoy having 2 options of highlight, and so maybe I'll do that again. That said, I feel like Soft and Gentle and this Urban Decay Sin one are pretty similar, so I think I will roll in this NARS highlight. One, because I haven't hit pan on it, which is unusual in my highlight collection, to be honest, these days. And 2, because this is like more of like a green golden type highlight, although it doesn't look like white in the pan. It looks white in the pan, but definitely on the face is more of like a green golden. And I think to go along with that, I'll work on my Urban Decay highlight in the shade Sin and maybe expand that pan a little bit more. I think I'm gonna skip eyeshadow as well. I have a lot of eyeshadows that I'm working on in my Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and a lot of them are shimmers, and most of my singles are shimmers, and that's usually what I'm pulling in to work on. And so I think I'm just gonna let this one be. I'll eventually pull one into this project. Normally, I always pull in an eyeshadow, but I feel like it's hard when you're working on a bunch of shimmers to then pull in another shimmer. I feel like it's just gonna make it too challenging. So we're gonna skip that for now. And then taking a look at what we have here. I still haven't moved a liner into my project pan just yet. So that might make sense to work on. Maybe we'll work on my bronze liner from NYX, just as something a little different. And then I do want to pick out some lip colors. So I have some lipsticks down here and some lipsticks and lip glosses up there. I'm getting very close to finishing my lip gloss that is in my project pan. So I think I'm actually gonna pick a lip gloss to work on, and I'm debating between just this Fenty Beauty lip gloss in the shade Fussy or this newer lip gloss from Fenty Beauty in the shade Fenty Glow. This is a Gloss Bomb Creamy. So I'm wondering if I should pull this one in because it's newer to my collection, but I'm kind of leaning towards just going with this old classic favorite with Fussy. And then I was also thinking about rolling this into the project as well. This is my Kylie Skin lip oil. I've really enjoyed using this. This is just great for anytime I need some moisturization on my lips, but I think it would be cool if I actually spent some time focusing on it a little bit more. And I think rolling it into this project would have me do that. So I think I might roll this one in too. And then I need to pick out some lip colors to work on. So I did really enjoy working on this Dose of Colors lip color last month. So I actually think I'm gonna pull in this Dose of Colors lip color. It's not much different. Oh, this one actually has the name on the bottom. This is in the shade Flirty. So I'm gonna roll that one in. And then I also just wanna pull in maybe a more fun lipstick color. This is a fun one from NARS. So that's a possibility. I think this shade's pretty similar too from Revlon, yeah. Maybe we'll go with this one. This is Wild Orchid from Revlon. Maybe we'll pull that one in as just something different than this, which is much more of a nude shade. Okay, I think I am good with what I have selected, so I'm just gonna hop back on camera and we can talk through everything. So first things first, I picked out a powder. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Dim Light. I really enjoy using this powder, and I'm starting to see some usage, like it's starting to, like, little holes are popping up here and there. So I would like to just see how much more usage I could get this month on this. I would love to pan this completely at some point. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but that would be pretty cool if I could. I also pulled in a bronzer. Like I said, I feel like this is a good shade for me right now. So I'm pulling in the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and upon opening it, I remember that it just smells really good. So that'll be fun too, as I am dreaming of warmer weather right now. And then I am working on 2 highlights again, just because, I don't know, just for fun, I guess. So the first is this NARS highlight in the shade Albatross. Like I said, it's more of like a green golden shade. And then also this Afterglow highlighter from Urban Decay in the shade Sin, which I feel like is more of like a champagne color. Would love to see that pan on this one grow a bit this month. I'm also gonna work on a liner because, like I said, I've been kind of like holding off pulling in liners, or I've been pulling in liners a lot at the beginning of this year, thinking that I'm gonna work on panning one of my black liners at the end, but that has not been pulled into my project pan as of yet. So I still feel like I can work on other ones in the meantime, and the one that I decided to pull in is this NYX liner in the shade Golden Bronze. And then the rest are all lip products. So the two lip colors I pulled in, this first one is Wild Orchid from Revlon. So just a super fun shade. I feel like I've worked on this in this project before and I just really like it. So excited to be working on this one again. And then I also, like I said, really enjoyed using that Dose of Colors liquid lip last month. And so I have another one in the shade Flirty, a very nude shade. So happy to kind of have this on the days when I don't want to wear anything bright. And then I have two kind of glossier products. The first one is my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy, just an absolute classic, and super excited to work on this after spending, you know, the last few months really focusing on the lip gloss in my project pan. I'm still working on that one, but hopefully that'll be done soon so I can spend some time with this one. And then this is more of like a lip treatment. This is the Kylie Skin lip oil, but I've really been enjoying using it. I just forget about it sometimes, so I think it'll be good to have it in this project to just spend more time using it on a regular basis. So super excited to be rolling that one in as well. And that is everything that I'm going to be working on this month in my Shop My Stash project pan. So I hope all of you enjoyed just getting to see what products I worked on last month and what products I'm focusing on this month. Hopefully if any of you are doing one of these projects that you are enjoying it, and I hope all of you have a successful month. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I really, really appreciate it. I will see you in my next one. Bye.